All right, here we are back. Let's see what we can do with this 1956D roll. I love 56D. Really, really good chance of finding some decent stuff in them. You never know where it's going to be, which is why I love to open the rolls. See what we can find. I got the roll out. Let's see what's in it. Look like pretty nice, clean looking coins too. Coin number 1, Dirty Water. Wish us luck. See what we get. Double die reverse is pretty much unknown on 1956 D-Lincoln cents, so primarily going to be focusing on the mint mark area and the rest of the obverse of the coin, namely the eyelid area. Got nothing on that one. Number 2 now, Indigenous Treasures, Bethel Ann. Let's see what she ends up with here. A little bit of a die clash next to the 1 up there. And other than that, you just got a bright coin. Very nice, bright looking coin. Let's flip it over, look at the reverse real quick. Don't spend a lot of time on the reverses on 1956D simply because, you know, there's not really anything known to go for. I mean, doesn't mean that you're never going to find anything. It just means that the obvious probably isn't there. All right, for Paul Hampton now. Still got nothing there. Nothing there on the reverse. Stan? Looks like I got nothing going on here for Stan either. All right. Now coin number 5. And these flip inserts want to stick together. It is so muggy and so sticky here. It rained for about an hour today. A little less than an hour, actually. 20 minutes. And that was just enough to get it absolutely sticky nasty outside. And make the humidity here on the inside of the house go up to 100%. We don't get humidity like that very often. It's almost tropical. Not desirable when you have no AC. The temperature is dropping outside, though, so that kind of helps a little bit. There's coin number 6. I was talking a little while last night on Discord that, oh, there we go. There's an RPM. Pretty nice one, too. I'll go in here so we can see it a little bit better. Get close to it. Move my light up a little. So you can see that really nice doubled upper serif. It's doubled right basically in this area. And then on the lower, we have just a big bulge. You can see that doubling a little bit better. Definitely an RPM. Let's see what we can do. See, we've got a bunch of southwest and northeast die scratches running through the date area. And that 1, especially between the 9 and the 5, is pretty strong, so we should be able to use that as a marker for future runs on this particular die. Nothing else on the obverse. Got nothing going on the reverse. So I was talking about when doing auctions. I attended the auction of another coin seller yesterday for, about the first 37 minutes of the broadcast. And I know that exactly because I went on with no expectations, had no idea who I was watching or what was going to happen. But I was there to see their Saturday night coin auction. And so here I figured, well, let me just sit back and grab the proverbial popcorn and watch this baby. Well, I watched, and I watched, and I watched. The guy gabbed about buying a house and moving. The guy gabbed about the inspectors, and the guy gabbed about all kinds of completely non-coin related things. Nothing at all. And, JJ, I'll have to work on taking care of that, see what happens. Your invoice and someone else's got kind of mixed and wonky and weird, and I guess yours just never sent. I'll have to get it out and get it back out there and get it sent. I appreciate the reminder on that. But I personally, I don't know how you guys are about this, but I personally find it very annoying when you go to watch an auction and the first 37 minutes of the broadcast is nothing but gabbing and getting stuff ready and marking coins and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, really? 37 minutes in, you should be like at least 10 or 15 lots deep in the auction. I don't know how you guys see that. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I personally think it's a waste of my time to call me into an auction to start at, it was 8 p.m. Eastern, and the actual auction doesn't start until close to 8:45. I mean, that was just painful. I ended up tuning out when he got to the first, 2 or 3 lots of the unlisted auction, and it was all ancient coins, and I have no interest in ancient coins. So and he would stop for 2 or 3 minutes between lots and just talk. I'm like, dude, you're already 40 minutes late. Shut the trap and start doing something. It just not for me. I mean, I can understand hanging out for a few minutes and chit-chatting for a few minutes before we, get started on the bowels of the auction, because perhaps I only have 10 or 12 people in, and I'm waiting for about 20 to show up. So, I'll crack a joke or two or talk about the current news or talk about the weather or something like that. Just a little bit, just to give us a little bit of extra lead time. It's kind of like, how I take the stage for a few minutes before the act comes out, just do the MC type job. And I think it would behoove everyone, if you're not going to start the auction when the broadcast starts, at least tell people, hey, yeah, here we are. Got some things to get ready and waiting for a certain number of people to show up. So it could be 10, 20, 30 minutes before the auction actually starts. Okay. Announce that. You announce it, and I'll go ahead and take off, because I'm not going to sit around listening for 30 minutes. But, it's like these reveal shows. This particular one, like today, has been kind of an embarrassment, and I do apologize for the amount of time that I wasted of yours sitting around waiting for me to show up, and I'm knee-deep in RPMs trying to figure out what I'm doing with a few of them, getting new ones listed and stuff. And I will be going back to that after the broadcast this evening. So this being the second of 2 broadcasts for this evening, as soon as I get done here, I'll be going back over to the Copper Coins Hangout area on Discord, and I'll have a screen share where I will be digging through 1959D RPMs, trying to match them up with given marker cross references, and trying to get new ones listed. Some of the other ones I will be working on photos to try to get better photos for at least the preview image. It's a weeks and weeks long process just with the 1959Ds, and I'm just trying to get them cleaned up a little bit. Then I'll step back to 58, start working on those. I don't know. So, I mean, is it obtuse of me to expect that when someone starts a broadcast for an auction that they actually get into doing the auction and not waste people's time with a bunch of back and forth about the closing on their house? I mean, seriously? I mean, it's like I walk in, I don't know you, I don't know your life, I don't know what's going on with you. You announced that there would be an auction starting at 8 o'clock my time. I show up at 4 minutes after 8 thinking, okay, well, the banter is going to go on for a few minutes, and that's fine. So I'll pay attention to other things, and when I start hearing something about an auction lot, then I'll pay attention again. 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by, and I'm like, really? Seriously? You haven't started the auction yet? Am I missing something? Was this like to talk about an auction or to actually have one? Truthfully, the way I like to run auctions is, nights like tonight, we can chit chat. We can bring up subjects and talk about whatever we want to talk about. We're going through a roll. Well, when we're not actually finding something on a coin, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the coins. I mean, you can see the same thing I can see, and we got no die varieties that we're looking for right now. As soon as I see one, I stop the train, and we talk about it. And so business is being taken care of, even though we are just chit-chatting. And that I'm good with, totally. You guys, while I'm looking through these coins and trying to figure them out, doing the job I need to do with these coins, you guys can, talk about Aunt Mary in the hospital or whatever. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I've got no issues with that at all. But when the host comes in with the purpose of 30 minutes of useless discourse before the actual auction starts, that kind of bugs me. Well, it's like 20 minutes in before you even see a coin at all. And when you do see a coin, he's just getting them shelved and ready to start running the auction. It's like he's not even ready when he walks in the door. Now, tonight aside, and some other times where I've had to reschedule a show or didn't make it home to run the show or something like that, generally when I do make it to a show, I generally get there on time. I start business. I do business as it's supposed to be done. We have a good time with it. There's other times where I just bring up the mic and start talking. Nothing particular, nothing special. We got nothing to prove or nothing to solve. We just want to chit chat about whatever comes up. I guess there's a place for everything, and I don't see a place for general banter and chit chat 30 minutes late into an auction that was scheduled and still hasn't started. It's just horseshit. I am not finding much anything in this roll. I'm starting to get tired of 56D, but you know what? As soon as I get good and full of 56D and decide I'm going to quit looking at them, then a roll's going to pop up that's going to have like Mondo good stuff in it. And the opportunity will skip me by. So It's the fear of missing out, I guess. Is where I'm running low on fuel. I just have to keep doing it. One of these days, Alice. One of these days, we're going to run into some goodies. Oh, we did have a good 56D roll a few months back. Yep, that's correct. There was a time where we found one 56D RPM number 1. That went to Carl, but that was the only one in the roll, which it can happen. Yeah, it'd be very common, but it can happen. The one thing I try not to do is overload you guys with the same date and mint mark. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been through almost all of the more readily available dates and mint marks. I mean, we've even done half a dozen rolls of 46S or 43S through the time. So, I mean, I do my best at procuring rolls of stuff that isn't the most common type stuff. But once in a while, it's always good to run through a roll of relatively common something just to see if one of the unusual ones sticks out, rears its pretty little head at us, and says, meow, here I am. That has happened. We have had it. There's one from Mark. A little die crack there. There's another one of the normal ones that shows a clash mark. Otherwise, it's a normal die. Here's coin number 29 for Eric SFC, Sergeant First Class. And another of pretty much the same die. Again and again. Number 30 now. Stan? It's another one we've seen a few times, though. It's got that little tail on the bottom of the D. Same. Oh, you enjoyed the license plates. That was awesome. I get carried away with that stuff because I'm very passionate about the things that I'm learning about that are kind of... Hey, Blaine, the oddity stuff, the things that you don't see very often, those are the things I really get into, especially like those mini bike plates. Those mini plates are something that a lot of people know about. A lot of people have had them. Still a lot of people that do have them. And there's some of them that are quite scarce and don't show up often at all. And I think it's fun to learn about them and try to collect them to the extent anyway that I can start photographing and working on, a book about them. Because, well, there aren't any books about them. And I think there needs to be one. Collectible premium license plates. I don't think there would be a whole lot of call for it. Might be a couple of dozen copies sold. But I just think I have a calling to educate people about things that I find interesting. Yeah, there is enough content. The book, as I think through it, the book will be somewhere around the neighborhood of 50 to 75 pages, maybe a little more. Man, we're not finding anything here. Just one RPM a little bit earlier on, and that one hasn't shown up again. Number 35, Eric Maith. Nothing. Tell you nothing. Number 36, Paul Hampton. Watch us find a monster coin somewhere in this. The The possibility is there. I mean, it is an original roll of 56D, but that doesn't mean that the coin couldn't have got stuck in the hopper and fell out, or something from the next bag that they just poured in found its way to the bottom of the pile and came out the bottom of the hopper into the bag, and here we go. The beginning of another die. You're right about that, Ant. I think Eric had to go have a pitcher after he finished the recent 49D roll. He said that was a monster. That was a hefty little bugger to take care of. This one's going to be relatively easy, it seems. Looks like there's one die variety in this, only one example of one die variety. The rest of it's all pretty much just normal coins. Some nice, clean coins. I mean, there's some coins in here, 65, 66 quality. It's a pretty roll. But pretty roll and roll full of die varieties can be and often are two different things. The 51 and 52 OMMs are pretty nice. I like those. Is this, don't think it is one of them. No, this isn't it. Thinking that might be that 1 RPM again, but nope. One for Mickey. Now we're on to number 42. Frosty. Nothing there. What's this deal with people trying to kill Trump? Seriously? I mean, the guy might be completely out of control. He might be a playground bully. But, dude, he's a human. Why kill him? There's no reason for that. None. Inexcusable. In case you don't know the news, in West Palm Beach, Florida today, Trump was out on the golf course and someone came up to the wall with a AK-style weapon and was ready to fire shots. I don't know if he got shots off, but he was ready to aim at the president and kill him. And he ended up getting caught on I-95. Somebody got a picture of the guy's license plate. I mean, what a moron, right? To walk up to the fence at the president's golf club. Not, well, current president, but you always call him president. I still call him President Bush, President Reagan. You don't not call him president because they're not president anymore. That's like an emeritus type thing. Once they've done it, and they are. So it's kind of like an Eagle Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout regardless of whether I still wear the uniform. But the, oh, there's one of them right there. Another one of those RPMs. That big dig between the 9 and the 5. So that's going to get us 2 of those. This one's for Mickey. Coin number 6 and coin number 46. There's number 47 now. So, yeah, the whole Trump thing, I mean, I'm not a political person. I'm an anti-political person. I hate talking about politics. I'm not a politician. I don't care for politicians. And well, the basis of my life has nothing to do with politics. So I don't care who ends up being president. We don't have a good choice. So given that we don't have a good choice, someone's going to do it. And I'm not going to be happy with their job, whichever one it is. So it doesn't matter. I will not be participating in the selection of that person because I refuse to vote for someone I do not have the moral capability of stooping down to vote for. And I think both of them would be a pretty large stoop. So that's my position. But these people are people. And, you may or may not like Harris. You may or may not like Trump. But these people are people. They're human beings. They have families. It's ridiculous to think that there is a place for murdering people because you don't agree with them. Mickey and Carl, my two recipients of the RPM that we found in this particular roll. Kind of an unexciting roll, but we have to go through the unexciting to find the exciting. So there is that. But, I have been basically stepping aside from Facebook and looking in on all of the banter and all of the things going on Facebook. And there's a lot of argumentative stuff. There's a lot of people not getting along with each other. A lot of people unfriending people and things like that. Well, I'll tell you my view on that. I'm not going to unfriend you because you post about how horrible Trump is. I'm not going to unfriend you because you post how you love Trump. I'm not going to unfriend you because you post about anything political. I'm going to going to unfriend you, or at least I'm going to block you for a period of time, snooze you, whatever it's called, for inciting hatred by posting untrue, undocumented barf about any political person. And you can call it true all you want to. You can call it backed up. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're posting about anyone political on Facebook, you're inciting hatred to a certain extent. Facebook is a social experiment for speaking with other people, not speaking to other people. There's a big difference there. And I think if you are speaking of opinionated matters that don't have any basis in reality, it's sad. It really is. So I just I stay away from it, and I have been in every aspect of my day that I have spent in and around Facebook. I have been deleting everything that I could that had anything to do with the upcoming election. When I receive texts, I delete and block. When I receive phone calls, I hang up and delete and block. I don't want to hear anybody telling me about anything about any of the presidential election candidates or the vice presidential candidates or anything else. I'm getting tired of listening to the mudslinging on TV. I'm getting tired of listening to what they're calling a debate. Those aren't debates. Those are just argument sessions. I don't know. I'm just, I'm kind of done with it. And, well, with all of the negative crap going around about coins and about other people in coins, and this person's coin is fake and that person's coin blah blah, and the people who come in with no knowledge of what they're doing, pretending to be some sort of an expert when you tell them that they don't know what they're doing, it's stomach churning. It's like this just isn't worth doing. But yeah, I'm pretty much ready to give up on Facebook altogether. It has it's become the bane of my existence, and it's not what it's supposed to be. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who comes to our gatherings. I appreciate you listening to my banter and my blather. I'm going to stop doing that now. We've had a great time with this. I don't know why this says it's reveal number 6687. It isn't. It's just 668. And 669 will come up tomorrow. It's going to be a 1983 D roll. Then we're going to have a show tomorrow evening. It's going to be probably about a 30-minute show where we'll sell spots in next week's reveals. Now, I've got a few of them picked out already. I've got a 1950S, a 1952D, and 1955D already picked out. Looks like I might be doing a 1943 as well. So we'll see what comes of it. We'll see what we can do about having a great time, having fun with this hobby. It's exactly what it's here for. And so next time, I'll see you again. We'll have a great time. And that'll be tomorrow. So join me tomorrow, and we'll be there and have fun. Talk to you later.